Sul Seers, and welcome to SeeJamieSim. I am Jamie, and today we are working on a new challenge, the starter home challenge that I've completely made up. So, we are going to build a starter home for $20,000 on the smallest lot in each world. So we are going to go through all of them, and we're starting in Willow Creek today. So 20,000, smallest lot in every world. So we're taking this from a shotgun house to kind of a C shape looking house, just to make it visually interesting. And I'm not counting the $20,000 towards purchasing the lot, just because, 20,000 is not a lot to furnish some of these houses, especially once you get into like Del Sol Valley and those kind of things. So here we are, starter home. And right now I am just placing everything I know I'm going to at least need one of in each of the rooms. So anything more than this is just bonus. And I'm hoping by doing it this way that I will be able to keep track of funds. And I do a pretty good job. I Willow Creek kind of easy because they have kind of junky little starter homes. And this actually ends up being a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, living room, dining room, kitchen, and I feel pretty good about it. Right here, I think I'm going to do a computer, and then I'm like, why? I could just put it on the dining room table. But I end up adding more than that to this build. So, we end up with enough room for 3 Sims. I think you could probably add one more comfortably. So maybe adding in a second child or something. But there is only one shower, and that is in the main bath, the ensuite from the main bedroom. So I would probably not do that in the next build, but it's the way things shook out in this one. Yeah, so I realize building in the snow is going to greatly hinder my ability to, decorate the outside, which we end up doing with debug anyway. I always kind of thought when I was watching these on YouTube with other creators that that was kind of cheating. And, you shouldn't be able to decorate with debug, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I realize in building with just $20,000 that there's hardly any way that you could put anything outside. I didn't do anything excessive just because I was trying to keep with the feel of the neighborhood. So I didn't want to completely, you know, bombard the neighborhood with like, this is obviously the best. So I do try and keep up the feel, I think, in the neighborhood. And I believe going forward, I'm going to try and do that at least a little bit, just so you feel like it belongs there. And this is like the cheapest neighborhood in the first world. And I wanted it to look that way a little bit. It may be just a little bit nicer. And we go with blue shutters, and I believe we end up going with white siding because you can see it's all kind of that pale cream and green there in the background. And I really want to keep the feel of it. Not completely pleased with the house roofing situation, but I still wanted it to be visually interesting. So, and you can see that the roof is peeking out over the top of the eaves of the front roofs on the other houses. So I kept it. But if I weren't trying to keep up with the feel of the neighborhood, I don't think I would have So there is that, but I can only do so much. We'll see how close I like have to desperately cling to things in my next build, which is, I believe, going to be Oasis Springs, unless I find another lot on another world that just calls to me. But I don't normally build in Willow Creek at all. So this is a very rare thing, and I'm realizing in trying to place all this stuff here that I am going to have bare bones furniture. I know I am. So I need to make everything a little bit smaller. And I'm starting to realize this as I'm looking from the kitchen to the dining room to the living room. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's gonna look bananas. So I add another small bedroom, and I actually make it just a little bit bigger than that so that we have room for some of the, because I know it's going to be a child, not a toddler. So I need a little bit of room to make or put in one of those big play things, whatever, which one it ends up being. So I do that. And that little turn, it doesn't really matter in the hallway, how much room I give it. So I decide I'm going with different a different layout, and it ends up being a pretty large kitchen, which I'm pleased with. I really wanted, it's kind of the heart of the home. And Sims spend so much time there that I love having galley kitchens just so they don't block each other all the time, because they tend to do that. And I end up making it like a C-shaped kitchen. Oh, and here's where I realize I am wasting money on that. I'm like, no, forget that. That was expensive. And I only had like $2,000 left. So, and a whole house to furnish. So I was like, nah, forget that. We're not doing that. And yeah, so we ended up doing purple for the kids' room, and I put in a lot of and I end up changing this room around over and over and over, just because when you have so little to decorate with, you really have to try and make the room look full without having anything. And that's a hard brief to meet. So purple, so we know this is, might be a girl or a boy who really likes purple. But yes, I end up moving the everything around. Like, you think this is how it's going to stay. It is not. You would think with this little furniture that I could decide that pretty quickly, but we're Simmers and we like to have things perfect. And yeah, I go for that. And then I spent an inordinate amount of time trying to decide what the main house is going to look like on the walls. And I'm not even sure if I'm pleased with how it turned out or not. I just know that I had to decide on something, and nothing looked amazing. So here's me trying to decorate the main. I didn't want them sitting by the bathroom. Like, that's weird. So that was the main room that I'm trying to decorate. And I'm looking at all the angles of the house, and I'm like, well, do I want that picture or the window there to be in that corner, or how am I going to arrange the living room if that's the way I want to do it? Oh, I went back and forth with this living room. And through these challenges that I've been throwing at myself, I I still am learning. But did I want it to be centered on the wall outside, or did I want it to be centered on the wall inside was my great question. And I end up keeping it in that corner and putting a bunch of these long curtains everywhere, which I really like the look of, and I usually do. I even throw them into my not beginning starter home builds. And here's where I make the kitchen a little bit bigger and give them a little bit more space to sit. And I end up putting the computer. Yeah, and here's where I change the windows again, which means I have to change the stuff. So I end up putting the computer on the island, not the island, but the little counter place. So then, it can stay there and the Sims can still eat somewhere. And I still want to put a window in the kitchen, so we we keep that horizontal one. And I hate that you cannot put the sink in the middle of the counters, in the middle of the windows. Like, that drives me crazy. I know I'm not alone. But here we are trying to arrange the bathroom. I decide I don't want the door to open, like straight onto the toilet, because that seems weird. And then I gotta change the shower around so that the wall is against the wall. And the sink has somewhere to go, and it was a whole mess, but that's okay. We get used to it. And I think I end up putting a rug in. Yeah, just like a little rug to decorate. We do not have much on the walls, hardly at all. And here's where I start making decisions about the walls in the living room. I don't like the paneling. I thought the paneling was going to work. I was like, no, it's too much wood. And then I looked at the gingham, and then I'm like, okay, well, these stripes would look really good. But I think the problem is that I'm looking at the couch and nothing goes with the couch. So I just keep going through it. I test everything. And then I'm like, you know what? I gotta get rid of the couch. The couch is the problem, not the walls. And I want a comfy couch for this house. I feel like they're moving in without very much furniture. And, this is their little starter house. So, comfortable sofa. Yeah, and so then we go with a little TV. So then we have money to decorate and fill up the space. Here's where I'm like, okay, what are we doing, friends? And we need more stuff. And here's the businesses and hobbies. And I really am desperate to use those. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I find a smaller bookshelf that I feel like will go in this bedroom, and we're pretty much complete for the master bedroom. The kids' bedroom needs, kind of a big play thing, so I put that in there to make it seem full. That's really the way to go for these challenges, is to get big stuff, big cheap stuff, and it fills up the space. And trying to get a rug in there, which you could also turn the living room the other way, just there wasn't going to be much in it, and I wanted a skill item also in there, and to add another chair for the dining room. So that's why I didn't turn the living room the other way. So here we are putting skill items in. And again, if you would like to do this challenge, I'm just calling it the Starter Home Challenge. And if you end up doing the starter home challenge, definitely tag me, and it's SeeJamieSim here on YouTube. And I'd love to see your guys' homes, and I'd love to feature some of them on my channel if you do end up building. And I just, if you're looking for more stuff or you'd like to see me play more Sims, I do stream on YouTube and on Twitch on Wednesdays from 9:30 to 1:30, Friday 9:30 to 12:30, and 5 to 8, and then Saturday 5 to 8, and Sunday 2 to 5. And I upload videos every Tuesday and Thursday here on YouTube. I'm actually going to be running the Ultimate Decades Challenge here on YouTube, so definitely check out that series. And I'm doing a Bridger Sim10 Regency Challenge over on Twitch. So if you like Generation Play Let's Plays, definitely check those two out. And yeah, we had so much fun with this. And my Twitch name is also SeeJamieSim. And if you end up wanting to put this into your world, my gallery name is also SeeJamieSim. All very easy to find and check me out and do all that fun stuff. And here's where I'm trying to put a little bit of clutter in the kitchen and trying to make it look cluttered without a whole bunch of stuff. And I also need a place to cook, so I'm struggling a little bit here. But anyway, if you do want to check me out, I would love it. And if you could drop a like, a comment, or subscribe watching the video, that really would be amazing. It really keeps me going as a creator, and lets me know kind of what you guys would like to see more of. And if you'd like to see more of this, definitely leave me a comment and I will try to be as accommodating as possible. I'm really enjoying it and I love building. Here I am trying to just do a little decoration, and then I need to speed this up to summer. So we'll let it play a little bit here. There we are. So we're putting some bushes up front, and then we'll be done with this build. It will be on my gallery if you'd like to put it into your game, which I would love to see it. And I hope you guys have a really good week or weekend whenever you are watching this. Definitely check me out on Twitch and my live streaming on YouTube or my other videos. I also have a 100 Days of CAS challenge where I'm building people in CAS. And I hope you guys just have the best day. All right. Bye-bye.